Myself Sricharan, Assistant Professor from the Department of Costume Design and Fashion from the Theivanai Ammal College for Women's Autonomous Villupuram. So today we'll going to see about the textile testing. In that we'll see on the color fastness of fabrics and how it reacts with the fabrics and testing procedures. So these are the contents. Initially, what is color fastness, importance, fastness of washing, rubbing fastness, and fastness to perspiration, and what about grayscale. So initially, grayscale color fastness. Color fastness refers to resistance of a textile material to its color or dye against its undesirable effects, like there may be a chances of dullness, fading, or brightness, or loss of brightness, or transferring of colors from one textile material to another textile materials. So this is described basically about the color fastness, the ability of the textile colors to fade, dull, or lose its brightness, or transfer from its original matter to another fabrics. So during textiles, contact with factors like light, washing, pressing, sweating, friction, and chemicals. So these are the main reasons we need to test for the color fastness, because these are the major component which affects the color of the dyed fabrics. And fastness grading, that is grade of the fastness or the value of the color in the textile material, is describe about the grading of fastness. So it is based on the gray scale. Using a gray scale, will evaluate according to the discoloration of the sample or fading or color transfer of a base material. Next, importance of color fastness. So majorly it is a quality indicator. So it describes about the how the quality of the fabric and its color towards the end users and its durability. So next one is customer satisfaction. So every material, the customer satisfaction is the major thing, because the customer satisfaction improves the quality and as well as the production of the company. And aesthetic values, the appealing and the color, texture, and the visual soothing effects will attracts the customer. That gives the more responsible for the color fastness. And also the durability. So the durability of the textile dyed fabric, the dye in the fabric sample is described about the durabilities. And next, health and safety, the amount of dye releasing from a fabric should not affect the skin of a wearer. Kindly, like for a kid, they are secreting saliva. That saliva won't be react with the dyes, and the dye material should affect the skin or any irritation of the kid. Next one is complication with standards. So as well as in textile standards, ISO, ATCC, and ASTM, the specification of trading and consuming is maintained. And the special applications like medical applications, sports wear, the dyeing is an important thing, because it determines the quality and utility of the garment based on the colors. And brand reputation. So obviously the color fastness is good, the brand reputation is automatically will rise. So based on the color fastness, there is so many types. Importantly, we'll see on the washing fastness, rubbing fastness, and perspiration fastness. So fastness to washing. So washing is a simple process of laundering our garments or cloth in a day-to-day life. It is a part of our life. So it is a process of soaping or degree of laundering. So it affects the color change from the dyed fabric, maybe through the detergent or the washing liquid, anything else. And the agitation using through washing machines, or the hand pressure or the force we are implementing in through garments when you are washing. So that affects the fading or color fastness of a garment. The dyes or the pigments tends to fade over a time. So which means that see, after a washing, due to our pressure and mechanical forces, the color and the from the garment or an textile material will leave automatically due to the forces and the continuous washing of its nature. So it was of the textile specimen, and when contact with one or two specified adjacent fabrics mechanically agitated. So in particularly by manual method will give force by manual method, and human will give a force on that. When it comes to an washing machine, the machine itself having a agitators, which is like an spring like an content, which helps to agitate the fabrics more. So there is if any dye releasing fabric is in that, it helps to avoid in it. And after that the process will be rinsing and dried. So after that, the gray scale, using a gray scale, the specimen will be evaluated through staining or color changes. So these are the ISO standards for washing fastness. One is ISO 105 textiles and color fastness, which is part C06. It is mostly used, that is nothing but domestic and commercial laundering of our materials. So next one is ISO 105 C08, 105 C10. So these are using hand wash and washing soap or soda method, using the soap or soda content. So here you can see about the acetate, cotton, nylon, polyester and acrylic wool. So in laboratory method, this is known as the multi-fiber. So using this multi-fiber, we'll do some procedure and to analyze the color fastness of every fabric with respect to these kind of fibers. So the temperature of that procedure we are going to conduct is 40 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius, and it is cotton 95 degrees Celsius. So the apparatus are rota wash or cryo wash, the machine, and stainless steel balls, multi-fiber fabric, grayscale, sewing machine, thermometer and color matching cabinet. So initially the procedure is you have to sew the multi-fiber strip with the dyed fabric. So in this image you can see the length of the multi-fiber strip with the dyed fabric. So once you have stitched through machine, or you can go for hand stitch, after that you have to take the multiple steel containers to set about the washing fastness. So the water ratio will be 1 gram per liter. So and then you should add ECE phosphate 4 grams per liter and sodium perborate 1 gram per liter. So after adding the water content, you have to add these two chemicals, and also you can add like foaming agent and some other detergent also you can use. So the machine is, this machine is also known as the laundrometer, where our washing fastness is going to carry out. So in this, the temperature can be varied from 40 to 95 based on the dyed material. It can be cotton dyed material or polyester or any natural or cotton fiber. So the duration of this procedure is 30 to 45 minutes, and after this washing, the same method for our homemade laundering, like we have to get out and squeeze it and remove the excess moisture and dry it in a room temperature. After that, the multi-fiber strip was evaluated through using the grayscale. So next one is fastness to rubbing, which is also known as crocking. This is about the how two fabric surfaces are rubbed or abrade in a process, where through that the color variation is happening or not. So this is the degree of color which may be transferred from the one surface to the another surface through rubbing. So when we are wearing a garment, the rubbing can occur any time at any places, and we are not conscious about that. So for that quality check, we are using the rubbing fastness of fabrics. So it is mainly of the dyed fabrics to an adjacent side, so which is like opposite side of two fabrics, which is rubbed in an proper way to driven the test. And this is completely on the crock meter machine, and it can be handmade or electrical. Then fastness is divided into two. One is wet fastness and dry fastness. It is to describe that in the rubbing can be carried out in the wet state or through the dry state. That it can be similarly say through our sweating in a state where the wet fastness can occur. So dry is a normal condition. So it is the ISO standard of 105 x 12 textile color fastness and part x 12, which is color fastness to rubbing, and ASTM standard is D5053 and standard test method for color fastness of textile to crocking. Okay, next the temperature is room temperature only. It is if we are sitting in essence 20 to 25 degrees Celsius is enough, because it is only measure how the color comes through rubbing, not depend upon the temperature. And the apparatus or crock meter and fabric grayscale for staining, as well as the white blotting paper to remove the excess moisture, as well as the crocking cloth. So in this you usually have to get the dried sample and the crock meter fabric. So initially the crock meter sample will be in a white state, which is smaller in size. So you have to clamp the white fabric, as you have seen in this image. You have to clamp the white fabric in the upper stand and dyed fabric in the bottom area. Then you have to clamp the mounted specimen. Then you have to close with that lid, and then you have to start the machine with 10 cycles of, like, it comes from to and fro motion, and you have to rotate the lever in an to and fro, which is an 9 Newton per pressure, and which is about 10 cycles, and do the test for dry and wet. So for wet condition, we have to dip the fabric sample in an water, and using a blotting paper you have to remove the excess moisture. Then we have to carry out the same procedure for wet condition, and the same has to be compared with the grayscale, whether with the staining or not. The sample specimen of dry in this image is less in staining, and this wet sample has more color of staining. So next one is color fastness to perspiration. So it is the test to determine the resistance of the color or a textile in all kinds of perspiration. So it is based on the two, one is acid and another one is alkaline method. So to know the human body have the two conditions, so with that how the textiles are reacting with respect to the color fastness. So perspiration from the human body is a complex chemical which contains the salt and also the metabolism reacting. So we can test at acidic or alkali at either, or we can test for both. So when the garment is get into contact with an body, that may be discolored due to our human nature, acidic or alkaline. So for that we are doing the fastness of perspiration. So the standards are textiles test for color fastness ISO 05E04, and it comes for part E04, color fastness to perspiration, and in ASTM D4265 standard method for color fastness of textile to perspiration, which is a direct test method. So the standard temperature is 37 plus or minus 2 degrees Celsius, which stimulates the average human body. So it replicates the human body temperature with respect to heat, and the specimen kept under for 4 hours under pressure. So what are the specimens? Apparatus reader is specimen holder, oven or incubator, heat oven, and multi-fiber fabrics, and the solution for the alkaline and acidic medium, and grayscale for assessment. Also we need basic tools like beakers, cutters, and the scales, markers, pH meters, drying racks, etc. And the chemicals, we need basic chemicals like sodium chloride NaCl, L-histidine monochloride or histidine, or lactic acid or acetic acid, sodium hydroxide. So these with this chemical we are going to prepare the acidic as well as the alkaline solution for our test. So the sample specimen is initially we have to stitch the multi-fiber with our dyed sample. So once our alkaline or acidic sample is prepared, so for the both the solution, the same sodium chloride and L-histidine monochloride and lactic acid has been carried out with the different chemical ratios, and through the pH paper we can check whether the solution is acidic or alkaline state. So with that we can conclude and prepare the acidic or alkaline solution. So initially we have to dip the sample in an artificial sweat solution. So these acid or alkaline medium is depend upon the which replicates your sweat, human sweat. so that we are preparing these acidic or alkaline. So initially the prepared sample, the fabric specimen is fully get soaked into the acidic or alkaline medium. Then the extra liquid or extra moisture is removed through dripping or squeezing of it. So then place the sample between the every glass plates. So in that this will be your weight bar and this will be your measuring gap. In this you have to place your squeezed sample from acidic or alkali solution. So there will be an metallic metallic or plastic or some flexible material is there. We'll use to put one plate, one fabric specimen which is here, like glass or plastic plates, in a perspiration tester. This is the entire setup is known as perspiration tester, and over that there will be a 5 kg 9 kg weight bar will be there. After that the fabric specimen will be set for 4 hours in an outer temperature. Initially it will be in outer temperature for 4 hours. Then the sample specimen comes under the oven, hot air oven or heat air oven at 37 degrees Celsius to replicate your body temperature for about 4 hours. After that the sample will be separated from the perspiration tester and squeezed and dried in a room temperature. Finally the grayscale will be used for analysis of stain and multifiber as from the dyed sample. So at last we came from the grayscale assessment. So using this grayscale will assess the color stain or color change. So this sample, this scale, grayscale for color change, and this one is for color strain. So it has give the standard value to measure the degree of color change or stain from the adjacent fabric of color fastness test, like from the dyed sample towards the multifiber. So with this we'll conclude the rating or value of the tested specimen. Like it has been in 1 by 2, 2 by 3 or 3, 4 by 5, like that. 3 by 4 will have the values in every state. So that this gives you an exact value of color change with this n number of values is. So here is the grading for grayscale. So when it comes to grade 5, there is no change or no stain in the color. It describes there is no color change from the dyed sample to multifiber. Then grade 4, so which is a slight change or a slight stain. So it replicates a slight or minimal amount, so a very minimal amount of dyed from the dyed sample to the multifiber. And grade 3 is noticeable, so it gives some noticeable color change in the multifiber. Grade 2 is strong color, so it is visibly we can fix it. It has much amount of dyed. And grade 1 is very strong and heavy stain, so the entire it probably can entirely get the much amount of dyed from the dyed fabric towards the multifiber fabrics. And it describes the ratings like excellent, good, fair, poor and very poor. Thank you.